Okay, so I guess it's story time. Time to tell you guys all about the Tuniverse, Tuna King, Tales of the Tuniverse. I don't know how more to describe it. I've told it a few times, but I guess it's time I told it for everybody to hear. So this story, um, well, I believe it was during the long queue times when 318 for Star Citizen was coming out over a year ago now. And at the time, I had a small channel. Yeah, I know it's not very big now either, but it was smaller. And we had been sitting around for 2.5 hours trying to get into 318 for Star Citizen, and well, conversations got started, and I started telling stories. This one is a well, I it is what it is. I don't know how to really explain it other than this. So here goes. I told a story during our wait about a guy that I used to work with, and he was a little off, to say the least. He he every day for lunch and during breaks would eat cans of tuna. He would sit down by his work area and peel open a can of tuna, squeeze out the juice into a styrofoam cup, and just dig in with a fork and eat that tuna up. I myself, I don't like tuna. I hate tuna. I think it's gross. I routinely call it cat food when my wife and daughters are eating it. I can't stand tuna. But hey, if he likes it, he likes it. So every day, as I said, he would eat tuna, breaks, lunch, break. Didn't matter. He was eating tuna. Well, one day he got pretty sick. Called in one day turned into two, one day turned into three. Well, I worked at a metal shop, and obviously just because you're sick, production can't stop. So they sent me over to his work area to find the schematics for what he was working on and figure out what he had and had not completed, which is, pretty normal when somebody has been sick for a few days. So I go over there, I figured out, how many of this one piece that he's made, and I'm tearing apart his work area. There's like a table where he's got all of his stuff, welder, grinder, all of that stuff. He's got it laying all out. Behind me is a desk, and the desk's got its normal desktop. It's got a little hutch. It's got a few cubby holes in the hutch part, and pull out drawers, on the sides and down the middle. And I am looking on top of the desk. I'm looking in drawers. I can't find the schematics anywhere. Right? It's not on his work table. I can't find it. And now I'm starting to get frustrated. I'm opening up drawers, digging through them, slamming them shut. Opening up this drawer, digging through it, slamming it shut. And I started getting really upset because I couldn't find the schematics, and we needed them. We had to have them. So I went back to digging in drawers after complaining to the assistant foreman that I can't find them. And he told me just keep looking, and he was going to turn around and head to the office and see if he can find a copy. Well, I opened up one of the drawers again, dug through it, and slammed it really hard. Now, to paint a picture for you, I'm in a metal shop. It's got concrete sides, big metal siding walls, metal roof. It's August. It's 103 degrees out, and when you got torches running, grinders going, There's no real air movement in there. It's 109, it's 110, it's 115 degrees in there. I mean, just walking into the shop area, you just the sweat, right? Just pouring off you. And so I slammed that last drawer, and my assistant foreman hadn't made it maybe 50 feet away from me when he turns around and I can see his face is green. He's holding his nose and his mouth. I'm doubled over by the desk, and I'm, pulling up my shirt and my leather apron up to my face. It smelled like something died and had been rotting for 3 weeks in there. I start to gently look through the desk to figure out where the hell that smell is coming from. Well, the smell was coming from a line of about 18 styrofoam cups lined up on the top of the hutch that I didn't notice. And each one of those cups was filled nearly to the brim with tuna juice. Pretty much every can of tuna that he had eaten over the last 4 or 5 months had been squeezed into these styrofoam cups and set on top of the hutch. And because of the heat and them sitting out like that, it had formed a nice congealed seal over the top. And when I slammed that desk shut, it had broke the seal on a few of them and let that nasty, nasty funk out into the air. It was probably the worst smelling thing I've ever smelled in my life. Well, the assistant foreman looks at me and goes, Scarred, you've got to get that the hell out of here. Throw that away. Get rid of it. So I put on my work gloves and I'm grabbing the cups and I'm about to throw them in the trash can when he grabs me and says, No, that is not what I meant. And I'm looking at him a little funny, like, well, I'm throwing it in the trash like you asked. He goes and gets this little 25 gallon drum, steel, and goes, throw it in there. So I'm throwing it in there. And once I've gotten every cup in there, he grabs it from me, puts the lid on it, welds it shut, puts the binder on there, binds it down, grabs a 55 gallon drum, throws it in the 55 gallon drum, puts the binder on it, welds it shut, and goes, go put it in the scrap pile. So that's what I did. And I told that story. I told that story live while waiting. And well, God, I love these guys to death. JT, Mason, and a few others that were in there. And if I forgot who you forgot if you were there or not, I'm sorry. Just took that and ran with it. They started calling everything the Tunaverse, tuna flavored, Tuna Tuesday, another live tuna stream, and it just kept going and going and going for months. So I just decided to lean into it. And every once in a while, somebody will ask me, well, why is it called tuna this? Why is it called tuna that? And well, that really is the reason. It's kind of, I think it's funny, but some people might think it's dumb. I think it's funnier than hell. Mason still, one of the viewers here, contests that one day somebody's going to find that barrel and they're going to open it and it's going to start the zombie outbreak, as we see in many TV shows and movies about zombies. So, I mean, if you know who I am and you know where I used to work and you find a barrel in the scrap pile that's been welded shut, don't open it. Just don't open it, please. Don't open it. So, um, yeah, that's the tale of the Tunaverse and the Tuna King and Hot Take Tuna Tuesdays and everything that is related to tuna here on this channel. That is the reason for it. Um, maybe at another time I'll tell you the story about bird pecked it, corner creep, and well, many, many more. I've told many stories here on the stream. Some of them funny. Well, at least I think they're all funny. Chat finds most of them pretty amusing, and maybe you will too. maybe I'll do a little thing called tunatales or something like that. But thank you for watching this. If you did watch it, and I appreciate you coming here and supporting the channel the way you guys do. And special shout out to JT and Mason for putting up with me all these years. Appreciate you guys. Love you bunch, and so long. Thanks for all the fish.